and the Washington football team with New England set to kick off. And it's our first live preseason game on NFL Network 2021. This feels good. First time in 2 years we have had a preseason game live on the network. Here we go. Bob Socci and Scott Zolak.
Let's get to the starting defensive lineup for the Patriots. As we see, Lawrence Guy back with a new contract. Starting lineup brought to you by Gillette, official shave of the New England Patriots.
And Henry Anderson, big guy from the Jets. Dietrich Wise put on some pounds this offseason. There's Dante Hightower. Good to see him back in the middle with Van Noy and Judon from the Ravens. There's your secondary. You know those guys. Good job by Kyle Duggar last year, stepping in year one.
And so much attention paid to the newcomers for the Patriots, but some old faces are back, including Hightower in the middle defensively after his opt-out in 2020. And I don't want to call Ryan Fitzpatrick old, but at 38 years of age, he's been around the NFL now for 17 seasons. He takes the snap and he hands it off, trying to squeeze his way forward. Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, you want to get a fit as far as you're a defensive lineman. You want to make that hit. You also got to take care of everybody. You know, guys rolling up, falling on guys' knees, ankles. Yeah, this is really the true first live contact these guys have had. I know they've been in pads 4 days since the start of camp, but no hitting in contact like this.
Yeah, it's pads in only 4 days to date for these teams before this game, and only on one occasion did they practice in pads on back-to-back days. Now off the play fake. Fitzpatrick with time, firing down the middle, and it's snagged by Terry McLaurin, one of the better receivers in the league, and Washington has it in midfield.
Yeah, this is where Fitzpatrick is so good. Van Noy almost gets there from the left side. He does a nice spin move, but Fitzpatrick hangs in there, and he's one of those streaky throwers. It could go good or it could go bad at any time. And we saw how it went that last Miami game 2 years ago, and you don't want him to get in that rhythm.
They had his job taken away last year with Tua Tagovailoa taking over for Miami, and there's a big hole for Gibson to run it across the 45 of New England. Bentley makes the tackle. The Patriots certainly looking to be much stouter against the run this season.
And you got to have the big bodies inside. When you say big bodies, right there, you're in a nose tackle. You got a nose technique right there. You see Lawrence Guy, he gets walled off on the backside. But that's good by Bentley. And Bentley's one of those guys that needs to pick a hole and hit it. He's better straightforward than he is side to side.
Cy Anderson and Godchaw in the starting lineup for the Patriots. Montrevious Adams, another big body added through free agency. Now Fitzpatrick hands it off. Gibson spins away with the patience, but nowhere to go. Coming up to close in a hurry, Adrian Phillips. He's had a standout performance thus far in training camp after a solid 2020.
So every year you got to self-scout at the end of the year. When you're eliminated, what did we do wrong? Where can we get better? And this is one of the big areas. You look at the rankings, you know, points allowed. You'll look at total defense as far as points allowed. You say, did we have a good year or not? But really, the pass yards given up, the rushing yards were the big one for us, where teams like Buffalo would keep plays alive, long drives.
Perennially, the Patriots, a top 10 scoring defense. One caveat to that number, number 7 last year, they played limited possessions in their games by nature of their offense. Judon in the backfield. Matthew Judon with an impact.
Yeah, I liked what he said this week, too. He said, hey, I'm out there, and if I don't play well, I want you guys to write that, because I need to bring it each and every day. And, you know, being a new guy in a new environment, you come out of a locker room like the Ravens, and you come here, you got to bring that edge with you. I like the front 7. I think you got some nastiness up there, and he's a guy that can add it.
He brought 30-plus career sacks from the Ravens to New England with his 4-year deal in the offseason, and they're playing the run to set up the punt by the veteran. Tressway is Gunnar Olszewski, the All-Pro for the Patriots, waits with a chance to return. He will not have it, and it's a touchback. Matthew Judon among the new faces in Foxborough. Into the backfield to stop Peyton Barber and Washington. No denying front and center for the Patriots this evening. Cam Newton at quarterback. Second year with New England, second straight one-year deal for him. Big difference, though. Last year, Zoe signed on the doorstep of a truncated training camp. This year, he comes in with a full offseason to prepare, and it looks like he's improved in camp thus far. And what was an unsteady season, at least his throwing mechanics and his relationship, again, with a lot of new teammates as the Patriots open up out of the eye. And a pair of receivers to the right. That's Harry in motion. Making Myers, in fact, from the top of your screen to the bottom. The give goes to Damian Harris. Barrel straight ahead. Brought down by Cole Holcomb as we take a look at the Patriots' offensive starting lineup, brought to you by Gillette.
Yeah, N'Keal Harry the outside. We know Jacoby Myers played a lot in the slot last year, but excited to see Jonnu Smith in game action. Damian Harris is your bell cow. And of course, Kendrick Bourne, who I envision to be that X receiver to the tight side, and that's that old Dion Branch role. Possession type guy, move the stick guy.
Veteran James Ferentz gets the start at center tonight for the Patriots. Here's Newton on the roll right, and he throws it incomplete for Jonnu Smith.
That's not a bad incompletion right there. So you're getting pressure off the bootleg, and Smith flashes in the flat, but it's a perfect read by the Washington defense right there. Nothing there, throw it away, huddle up, it's 3rd and 8.
John Bostic, a former Patriot, there in the flat in pursuit for Washington. A very good defense under Ron Rivera and his defensive coordinator Jack Del Rio. Now the Patriots face a 3rd down and 8. They line up in a 2-by-2 set with James White, the veteran, returning on a 1-year deal. The single high safety, Newton looking to throw, hit as he loses the football. Young got it from the blind side, and Washington has a turnover, possibly. Looks like the Patriots' Isaiah Wynn might have got it back for New England.
It's a nice job by Rivera's team here. They show cover 2. They walk the safety up at the last second. Now all of a sudden you got a 7-man front. They're showing blitz. Here they come. It's a little delay action, but Isaiah Wynn gets beaten from the backside. And honestly, I don't know if Cam had a chance here, but he's got to be able to protect the football. You know, you're in blitz mode. It's man-to-man. It's 3rd and 8. He's trying to get it out. 5th step. That's on your backside tackle right there.
That's the defensive rookie of the year, Chase Young, one of 4 first-round draft picks Washington will have on its starting defensive line when the season begins. Now, they may have ruled the arm coming forward at an incomplete pass. Scott Novak is our referee. And in fact, Newton was able at least to avoid a potential turnover there. Jake Bailey. Best net average last year in the National Football League. Now in his 3rd season, early movement. That won't sit well.
Well, there's the message.
Offense, number 47. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Patriots last year with the fewest penalties in the NFL. Bill Belichick, Cam Akers, the special teams coordinator, especially take pride in this phase of the game.
I use the same stuff when we're coaching my kids' Pop Warner team. You got to hold your water. Hold your water means elongated snap, a little bit of a delay. Sit in there. Maybe added a word or two, but
you think about that too. So Jakob Johnson is the lone fullback on the roster, but this is a team that has really the numbers game with which to contend. In the backfield, tight end, wide receiver. And he'll need to play well on special teams. Bailey launches the punt. Oh my, a beauty. Right on the return, gets outside, past the 35, forced out by Kyle Duggar. Chase Young bringing it. Cam Newton hits the deck for the Patriots. Rough start offensively for both teams. Time for the injury report, brought to you by Optum, helping to reshape healthcare for the good of all. Among the players not dressed for the Patriots, guys who've been banged up either in the offseason or thus far in training camp. Aguilar, Henry with the shoulder issue, Winovich currently on the PUP list, Bolden, Colbert, Joe Cardona, the long snapper.
Winovich is an interesting one. I think he's a candidate for that long-term PUP. Meaning, midway through the season, you can bring a guy off PUP and he gives you a big bolster to that defense.
Last time we saw Chase, he came out in the second half, I believe in the regular season finale versus the Jets, with a cast on his hand in the midst of a 2-sack game. Now Fitzpatrick off the play fake and a deep drop, throws it underneath. Lying in wait was Judon with a pass incomplete off the twisting Antonio Gibson's hand.
They've changed the numbers in camp with the new rule in the National Football League where guys can go back to single digits. It's going to take me a while to get used to this. I'm still looking at Judon with a 9 on, and I'm thinking strong safety up here as we do the game because he's out in the flat covering him. I'm just used to putting his hand down and rushing for the Ravens.
Yeah, you got a couple of single digits in that front 7 for the Patriots. Judon in number 9, Juwan Bentley in the middle of the defense at inside linebacker wearing number 8. Now Fitzpatrick with a second down and 10. Patriots bring an extra rusher, throw to the near side, broken up by J.C. Jackson. Plays it well, reaching around McLaurin.
This is outstanding by J.C. Jackson. And why? Take a look at the offhand, that left hand. So he reads the route. So it sits right there, and here he comes with that left hand over the top. And we've seen guys do that over the course of years, whether it's Stephon Gilmore, we hope he's back soon, Ty Law, Darrelle Revis. You got to have that good offhand to time the ball when it gets there and not play through the player.
And another big hit by Judon, penetrating with a contact on Fitzpatrick. J.C. Jackson tendered a one-year deal for the Patriots, a restricted free agent. Now a twist up front. Fitzpatrick lofts it to the near side, and a back shoulder catch. A terrific grab by Logan Thomas. He's really emerged in the last year with Miles Bryant coming over trying to help Kyle Duggar.
This is a throw off the back foot for Fitzpatrick, but you take a look at this route. He gets up on Duggar here, and all he does is just turn to look for the football. And when you have a guy that's played for as many teams as Fitzpatrick has, and we've called multiple games against him for multiple teams, and off the back foot, perfect read, perfect throw. It's a good veteran throw.
First quarterback to start for 8 teams. He'll make it 9, presumably, in week 1. Now Washington with the give. Try to improve on its running game, as the Patriots also look to make their run defense a lot tougher under Steve Belichick and Gerard Mayo. That's part of that defensive staff.
Not good here. Judon went down. He's holding his knee. You heard him scream there at the end of the play. So that's the one thing I talk about, when you have that interior line play, nobody wants to get guys injured out here in a preseason game. So you got to take care of each other.
Judon gets the attention as we take a timeout.
All right, taking a look at the Matthew Judon hit here. We may have dodged a bullet. I got him circled right here on your left side. So look at the left knee. And this is, you talk about taking hits out of the game where you go down to the lower leg area. You see him reach right away for that left knee. And then he walks slowly off under his own power to the 10. And here's your good news, folks. He comes out of the 10 under his own power. It looks like he's heading back to the defensive side of the bench.
Yeah, another dose of good news. As you said, he's standing on the sideline with his teammates as opposed to going back to the locker room. 2-time Pro Bowler Matthew Judon in his first game as a Patriot. Washington with a second down and 8 in the scoreless opening quarter. The empty set for Fitzpatrick. Stands in, rears back, and throws it underneath. Quickly closing Duggar. The takedown of McLaurin.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch these safeties this year. Guys like Duggar, Adrian Phillips, who you and I talked a lot about last year, playing multiple positions. He actually played some linebacker due to the amount of injuries the team had on defense. And looks like Judon was back in there, so he's back out now, coming back on the sideline. That's good to see. But it's going to be fun watching Duggar and Phillips this year when McCourty, calm things from the free safety position.
Speaking of Devin McCourty, we're not seeing him this evening early on. Patriots go with 2 high safeties before this 3rd down and 5. Pocket squeezing down off the back foot, a completion to Humphries. And in his Washington debut, Adam Humphries with that grab for a first down.
Boy, Fitzpatrick really does a good job throwing the ball off the back foot. He anticipates well. He knows where his guys are going to be, so he's looking right. And he just knows I need a stick pick-upper here. So he gets him at the quick 5-yard mark, coming right to left with J.C. Jackson trailing.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, well-traveled quarterback, said recently this is the first time he's really signed somewhere to be the starter. Washington last year used 4 different starting quarterbacks. Change of pace on the run up the middle by Gibson.
So what you see here with no Stephon Gilmore is you have J.C. Jackson elevated to the #1 corner position, which puts Jalen Mills at the #2 position. And not to say guys are out of position, they're not. You got to play corner. I don't care. Guys go down all year. But they have Gilmore out there. And if they can resolve anything to get step back out there on the field, injury or contract related, you just do so many different things on defense. You play a lot more man, you blitz, you negate their best receiver.
Another quick throw by Fitzpatrick in the flat. There's Phillips coming over against Gibson. Both of these teams like to throw to the running backs. And so when you talk about the secondary, you see Mills wearing the #2, the green goblin with the green mouthpiece, the former Eagle. His best position for Philadelphia under Jim Schwartz was everywhere. Guy played multiple positions. And outside of Gilmore And Jackson, when you're talking about the Patriots secondary, you're talking about guys who really move around.
Yeah, and you fall in love with those players too.
When
you play against these teams in preseason or you have joint practices, you say, okay, this guy made a lot of plays against us. And I think that's one of the reasons he's here.
He certainly knows Washington coming out of the NFC East. Fitzpatrick on a 3rd and short. Throws to his receiver, Humphries, who lost his footing in front of Jonathan Jones.
Excuse me, Washington looking for the call there. That foot just went on right underneath him. This is good coverage here. You know, Mills had it blanketed at the top of your screen, and right there in the slot, he had a chance to win there, you know, if he could have kept his footing. Jonathan Jones stayed inside once he broke out.
Jonathan Jones has become one of the better slot cornerbacks in the NFL. As a one-time undrafted free agent out of Auburn, who first made his mark on special teams. The incompletion sets up the field goal attempt from 40 by the veteran Dustin Hopkins. And his kick, trying to work its way back in, will sail left of the upright. No good for Washington.
All right, got to move the football team now. Not ideal for Cam coming out. You got the pressure on 3rd down. You had to misfire out and flat on the right. Now he's going to respond as he has all camp. You have a bad day, what do? Come back the next day, you move the football team. So see if they do anything different here. They were regular personnel to start that drive. Regular means fullback, tailback, 2 wide, 1 tight end. Ideally, they'd love to be 12 personnel with 2 tight ends. I think that's ultimately what they'll get to with Henry and Smith out there at the same time.
After a big hole at the tight end position the last couple of years, 2 of the marquee signings for the Pats, of course, Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. Many believe the offense will run through those 2 as Myers again comes in motion. Newton on a deep drop, steps up, throws it to a diving receiver, and the pass is caught. That's a terrific play by Jacoby Myers, the Pats' leading receiver last year. Flag in the secondary.
So the flag was thrown as he came out of the break. I hope they don't get him for a push-off. It's got to be a grab.
Pass, holding, defense, number 23. Penalties declined. 1st down.
So it's a good job by Cam stepping up in the pocket there. You know, you get a little bit of motion, and that corner goes. You right now know that that's man-to-man. So right away you're starting to think, okay, I got a break route coming, and that's Myers, and they have a good rapport with each other.
Patriots on the tight set here. Jakob Johnson again, the fullback on the toss for Damian Harris. And Harris off contact with a gain of 9 to midfield.
Strong runner. Starts in practice. You heard Ivan Fierce talk about why does this guy go all the way to the end zone after each and every run in practice. He goes, that's what he does. And I told all the other running backs to start doing it too.
3rd-year running back out of Alabama. Damian Harris emerged last year for the Patriots, though limited to 10 games. And he said in the offseason, in which he didn't miss a leg day, as he told you on your radio show, working out in the weight room. He wanted to be bigger, stronger, faster to prepare for a full schedule. The Patriots have a 1st down after that run. See the numbers last again from 10 games. 5 yards per carry, one of the best in franchise history.
And that's a big one too. And that's at a point during the season where you're struggling, you have difficulty throwing the football, and all of a sudden you got 8 guys up around the line of scrimmage on that defensive front. They're daring you to throw, and you're still able to run and still get 5 yards a clip. He's a good runner.
Yeah, that's the thing about that numbers, though. Last year, 44% of the time, defenses were in 8-man fronts against the Patriots. Now, Smith on the crosser underneath. Out of a tackle. There you go. His fortes. Breaks another with a 1st down. Catch and run.
Now, that's something that you didn't have a year ago. Production from the tight end position. So it's a drag from right to left. It's a good job by Cam getting back, getting the ball to him as quick as you can. Zone coverage, and then go make a play. Nice athletic play by Jonnu Smith.
The last time the Patriots played a game in front of fans here at Gillette Stadium, Jonnu Smith was a Tennessee Titan in the playoffs. And before that game, Bill Belichick said, I can't imagine anyone who's better after the catch than Jonnu Smith. Patriots on the move in the scoreless 1st as rain begins to fall. Newton, pressured by Young, dumps it off with the screen set up for James White. Running room ahead to the 25, past the 20, inside the 15 with a 1st down.
Good execution. Good execution here by Newton on the screen. Something he didn't do well last year. You got to set, then draw the defense as he does right there. Flips it to White. And this is where you're going to have a difficult time on the outside with the new rule in the National Football League this year. You can't cut guys down, meaning linemen can't get out in screen formation and cut down defenders. So you got to stay on your feet.
Patriots in the single back set. They use 2 tight ends here. Harris takes the handoff, gets to the outside. Damien Harris driving to a 1st and goal to go as he runs it to the 3.
You got to hold.
Holding.
But it's coming back.
Number 81. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
And they get Jonnu Smith on the hold.
What a run by Harris, though, to turn the corner and not look to get out of bounds. Yeah, and you're going up against Chase Young there. Yeah, you grab the left arm. You're going to get that. When you're the edge guy, there's 2 guys that are staring right at you, and guarantee they're going to get that thing thrown on you.
Hard to believe. Season number 18 for the youthful Josh McDaniels. He's been in the NFL for more than 2 decades now, 21 years as an NFL assistant or head coach. Now the Patriots backed up. They toss it again to Harris. This one defended well, but a little deceleration and a cut past a defender to the 20.
See, that's the one thing that can kill this type of football team. If you want to play ball control offense, rush the football, get heavy, lean on guys. You have it 1st and goal at the 1. You get a penalty call, backs you up. Now you're looking at 2nd and 17?
And then that goes back to that first series. You don't want to be in 3rd and long.
And now it starts to creep into your head that you don't want to make another mistake. If we throw the ball or say take a sack, then you're out of field goal range.
We're looking at a 2nd down and 17 here for the Patriots and the scoreless first under the 4-minute mark. White in the backfield. Newton looking to throw. Again, chased by Young. Cam sliding right with a pass complete to White. Brought down by Holcomb. We'll make it John Bostic, in fact, to get the credit for that tackle.
Yeah, nice little drive going here now. So I'm sure Josh is telling Cam in his helmet right now, let's be smart about it here. Play clock's down to 30. Tell those guys we don't need any stupid penalties up front. And let's not take any sacks here if you throw the football.
3rd down.
Patriots on this 3rd down and 12 are going to line 3 receivers to the near side.
Get the ball to Harry.
Before Kendrick Bourne. The ex-49er moves in motion. Cam behind James White. A toss away on that screen.
So you got to tell 2 cities on that one. Great throw on the first one. And not a good throw by Cam right there on the 2nd screen. He had it for a little bit. He's got to loft that, touch it. So James could have a catchable ball there. So now you got to see what this kid can do. Quinn Nordine, who has had one strong leg throughout camp. You've seen him kick the football.
Powerful leg out of Michigan, undrafted free agent. He's the only undrafted free agent the Patriots signed. Nick Folk has been sidelined for the better part of the last week, and Nordine has been perfect during the in-stadium practices, including makes of 55 and 57 yards. This one from 35 with Corey, the new long snapper, delivering to Bailey. And Nordine drills it right down the middle. Patriots have the lead at the 3:12 mark of this opening quarter. On a windy and now rainy night in Foxborough, preseason opener, Patriots strike first. Well, I don't think the heavy stuff is coming down for quite some time. In a 3-0 Patriots lead in a light rain here in Foxborough. New England has the advantage with our scoring drive brought to you by Bank of America, the official bank of the New England Patriots. Rookie free agent Quinn Nordine, thanks to the long snap of free agent Ryan Corey, delivering the field goal to cap a 9-play, 54-yard drive en route to the 3-0 advantage.
It's a good little drive there. I think people got excited seeing Jonnu Smith, first live game action for Patriots fans. Good catch, good run after the catch. And Harris looks strong. Damien Harris looks strong. It's one guy. That's how you go to camp and you see guys come out on the field. You can tell, oh wow, that guy looks different. Him, Josh Uche, and Damien Harris look like they lived in the weight room this offseason.
I think, too, that Damien Harris has added some wiggle to his game. We're seeing him make a lot of cuts in the hole. The vision is there. We saw speed at the outside, even on that play that was nullified because of the holding penalty. Rare short kick by Bailey, perhaps by design. Run by Johnson out to the 25. He is stuck there by Adrian Phillips. Tonight's trivia brought to you by Bank of America, the official bank of the New England Patriots. Bill Belichick has won the AP NFL Coach of the Year award 3 times. Which coach has won the award the most times? And I'll give you a clue. It's not Ron Rivera, but he's a multiple-time NFL Coach of the Year. He's been honored twice with Carolina, and he deserves a lot more for the job he's done in Washington while fighting cancer at the same time over the course of the last year plus. Now, Taylor Heineke unloads. Gibson with the catch, stop and start. And he runs into the sideline as Van Noy chases.
I think it's Bill Walsh.
Without further ado,
Chilla. That's the guy he's chasing, right?
He's
the only one above him.
4 times. Colts, Dolphins, the late Hall of Fame coach, of course, and the all-time winningest head coach. 347 victories to his name. Bill Belichick will open the season with 311. And there's Heineke, who once was on the Patriots practice squad, now with his 5th team overall, after his shining and stunning performance in the postseason last year as Phillips comes up on Gibson to make the stop. And there's Adrian Phillips once again.
Quickly got it back, with the football team, got the nice little contract there. So Heineke's one of those guys that's interesting. Been around the league, bounced around. So it's kind of like, it's either that time or it's time to get off the pot, if you know what I'm saying. So he's a guy who went out and played really well in that playoff game. And could get him another 3-4 years in the league just by doing one of those games like that.
He was the quarantine quarterback for Washington last year. There was a time when the Old Dominion Monarch product, Heineke was taking online classes as he's chased out of the pocket and unloads on the move, and Phillips tries to take it away, or make it Mills trying to wrestle the football away from De'Ami Brown. They're all short of the sticks. That'll give Washington a 3rd down and 5. But going back to Heineke last year, during the regular season in the NFL before he started versus Tampa Bay in the wild card, he was playing fantasy football. Cam Newton was his quarterback.
You have a
Former
fantasy
teammate
team?
in Carolina.
You have a fantasy team?
I don't play fantasy football.
I don't have time for it.
I show how little I know on a regular basis about the game, let alone trying to be a fantasy GM.
Moved. Right tackle
Out of the
moved.
gun. Heineke unloads, deep throw, and with a little separation as Brown, a speedster, got behind Mills. Pass falls incomplete.
The right tackle moved. I think the left tackle also moved. Let's take a look at it. Bottom of your screen. There he's 2 yards deep. I would take that if it was the 4th quarter, a preseason game number 3. Come on, 106 left in the first. We got to be better.
Wade dispatched for the 2nd time for Washington. Handles a high snap. Boots it in the direction of Olszewski. He's under with a chance to return. Comes to the near side. Try to change direction. Slips ahead. Gets it outside the 25. And here comes the rookie, Matt Jones. Welcome to Foxborough. Welcome to the NFL.
Oh, look at this place. Tell me they're not ready for the next guy? It's really good to see him wear a real quarterback number 2. And for people that are watching the broadcast that maybe haven't been to Patriots training camp, Coach Belichick makes all the rookies wear numbers in the 50s. They sort of have to earn the number. And boy, he sure has. He's had a good camp.
He wears number 10. No longer number 50, is the 15th overall pick in this year's draft out of Alabama. He hands it off with a run to Sony Michel, the ex-Georgia Bulldog.
He's doing a good job right there, getting the team going, getting them in the huddle. He's looking at the clock, 40 seconds left. See, get another playoff or 2 here before the quarter breaks.
He's been coached hard by Josh McDaniels and the offensive staff, working a lot with Bo Hardegree, the new quarterbacks coach for the Patriots. But again, handling this series in the final half minute of the opening quarter. And thus far, he's handled everything that's been on his plate as he now works out of the empty set. Jones stands in, throws it to the near side, and a low throw feathered to Jacoby Myers. They're going to rule it a trap. Myers says he has it.
I go by the reaction of the player.
His hands
Ruling on the
underneath.
field is an incomplete pass. 3rd down.
Oh, that's a
he's got it.
fantastic catch.
It's a catch.
That's a tremendous grab by Jacoby Myers.
The receiver will always tell you by the body language.
Hands under the football with that grab. A look on the giant video board in the stadium. A look on your screen right there.
What are we doing?
Patriots get to the line. And Jones takes the snap on 3rd and 5. Throws the back shoulder. Wilkerson comes back to it. Well timed for a first down.
Cash money throw right there. 5-step hit. Boom. Ball's out.
On the final play of the opening quarter.
That is the end of the
First
first
series
quarter.
as a Patriot, albeit in the preseason for Mac Jones. Fans excited with the Patriots in a 3-0 lead. Second quarter. The drive continues after this. Preseason opener for the Patriots against the Washington football team. Year number 22 for Bill Belichick. Season number 1 for rookie Mac Jones. And there's been an air of anticipation about this night and the opportunity to see this quarterback, of course, for a long time since the Patriots took him as 15th overall selection in the draft. Off the play fake, finds Bourne in the hole. First down, New England.
Pretty throw, but it's the action. It's the quick show the ball to the back, set the feet, get your shoulder square, and just lay it to Bourne. It's not a rifle, because you have to clear the underneath defender. You see it right there. So you got a guy coming down on Sony Michel. Ball needs to go over top of him and inside the safety. That's a good throw.
First Alabama quarterback to pass for more than 4,500 yards. More impressive, the touchdown to interception ratio and the completion percentage. Now an impressive run by Sony Michel on the toss to the left as he picks up 9.
I want to go back to the catch by Myers that was ruled an incompletion. With the new video board, you could clearly see that it was a completion. So you say, okay, why isn't Coach Belichick challenging that? It made it a 3rd and 5. I don't think he really cares about he does care about the score. I don't want to mean it that way, but he's looking at situations. He wants the first 3rd and 5 of the young quarterback coming out to see if he can handle it. What's he going to do? And he converted it.
Got a shot at Belichick. Maybe an issue with the headset. Mosi on the spot for the pass. And a first down run there for New England. Sony Michel, just like Damian Harris, with an impressive training camp, carrying it into this evening's game.
Absolutely. And we said it in the open. I didn't want to put too much stock into, well, how many snaps did this guy get or that guy get? I said, let's look at the pairings. And the big thing to take away so far here is they still have all the ones in with Mac. So Cam started the game, had all the ones, 3 and out, then moved the football team down.
Early minutes of the second quarter. Jones with time. Throwing the deep ball down the left side. And might have grazed the fingertips.
What a throw.
And Wilkerson.
What a throw in the bucket. This is the bucket throw that they practice after practice. Good route by Wilkerson. Now just extend the hands. Go get that ball.
Off the left hand. That is a perfect throw. McTire trying to stay with Wilkerson. He's looking to make this team as a guy the Patriots signed last year from Tennessee. Had a good start to camp, but he's been plagued by some drops of late.
He's got him again here.
Now you got a 2nd down and 10 for the pass. Jones hands it off to Michel. Sony plows it into the right side as we welcome in for the first time this evening an old friend, regular part of our broadcasts, Paul Prillo from Patriots Unfiltered, Patriots.com, and our Bob's Discount Furniture studio. Paul, what do you think? Welcome.
Well, guys, this is the last couple of drives. This is what we've seen when the Patriots offense has gotten things going. Cam did it a little bit too. You're going to lean on the running game. This is the style of offense I think Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels envisioned in the offseason. You're going to play behind that offensive line. You're going to grind it out on the ground. And you're going to have your quarterbacks throw off a heavy play action. And Mac Jones has looked very comfortable. And this is what we've seen the last couple of days of practice.
He's changing protection here.
Change of protection, looking for Bourne on the slant. Covered up there by St. Juice.
So he reset the mic twice there. He and James were trying to create James White. He's the offset back. He's your scan back on pickups. Just let him too far inside. He wouldn't have had it anyway. It's, you know, you're looking at 3rd and 7. You would have basically picked up 3 yards there.
Opportunity now for Quinn Nordine from 50 yards away. He connected from 35. Again, the rookie free agent out of Michigan. He was inconsistent in his career. Had only 5 attempts in the shortened season a year ago. Waits on the snap from Corey to Bailey. In place. Kick is driven.
Oh my.
Plenty of distance. Perfect again. 2 for 2 for Quinn Nordine.
Yeah, kicker.
35 and 50. 6-0 lead for the Patriots. Early in the second. Preseason game number 1. Perfect start for Quinn Nordine. A pair of field goals from 35 and 50. The former Patriot kicker Shane Graham has worked out with Nordine. He says you can see it. You can hear it. The leg strength of this rookie kicker out of Michigan.
Take a listen. Oh, he knew it too right away. That's the fun part of it. And you say, okay, that's a kid that's having fun. And you're like, well, why doesn't he feel the pressure? He told you this week. He said, I was looking for a job.
He was on LinkedIn.
What is LinkedIn? Is that?
There's not enough time in the talk. I'll explain it after.
Okay.
Maybe in a commercial break. LinkedIn. It's where you go if you're Quinn Nordine and you don't get a call right away during the draft. And you're thinking about what to do outside of football post-college. Johnson on the return, trying to get outside. Chased by Gant. Just re-signed to the Patriots, and Malik brings him down. There's a marker trailing the play.
It's good speed right there by Gant to get back. That thing had a chance to kick outside. Nobody was home on that sideline.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 48. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Time now for our Putnam Performance in Motion Player Spotlight. Talking a lot tonight about Michigan. There's an ex-Wolverine now in his second season, Josh Uche. Second round pick back in 2020.
Now he had talked to him and he just said, you know, I'm excited to play football. It's my first real NFL type experience, even though he was here last year. Those weren't games. I mean, I know they played the games, but when you're playing in front of an empty stadium, it's hard.
Uche trying to get into the act on the run up the middle as he was playing on the edge there. Washington trying to work its way out of the shadow of its end zone. Uche last year, like the rest of the rookies in the NFL, didn't have a spring on the field.
Couldn't imagine.
Didn't have a preseason, had a shortened training camp.
Yeah, this is a guy that we saw flashes from at times. I remember the Buffalo game, getting after Josh Allen, extended plays. And he's one of those guys I talked about. Looks like he packed on 15 pounds of muscle.
Patriots have developed a nice pipeline from Ann Arbor to Foxborough defensively in recent years. Peyton Barber slams it up the middle. Bentley brings him down. Kyle Van Noy collaborates. There's Uche, again in the stand-up position on the edge.
Right here on the bottom of your screen.
He was used as really a designated pass rusher for Michigan, trying to be a more complete defender for the Patriots.
Oh, he almost gets rolled up, too.
Exhale the side.
It's not showing any more replays. Guy's getting hurt. Steve Belichick, Gerard Mayo.
The former Patriot linebacker. Background. Steve Belichick in the foreground, looking out for a 3rd and 1 for Washington. Play fake and a bootleg for Heineke. Looking to run it, and he has the angle. Brought down along the far side. Chase to the boundary, but a first down run to Sean Bauer. Got over eventually for the Pats.
Heineke, one of those athletic quarterbacks, too. He can throw on the run. It's a good guy to have if your starter goes down. It's not going to overwhelm him.
He was with his head coach Ron Rivera in Carolina. He was with Scott Turner, the offensive coordinator for the Washington football team. And again, last year against Tom Brady, he passed for more than 300 yards. Also had a physical run to the pylon, suffered a shoulder injury, and he stayed in that game as Washington hung around with the eventual champions. Now off the play fake. Stands in. He's under pressure. He's brought down by Bauer.
Yeah, it's front seven. Talk about the depth that they could potentially have here. And when this roster shakes down, it's going to come down to we're going to keep 9 offensive linemen. We're going to keep an extra D lineman. There's just a play from the top of your screen, collapsing the pocket. For those edge guys too, so many of them, and run past the quarterback. He's got good size, 6'5", 250.
Bauer last year pressed into duty for the Patriots, played about a half season for New England, originally with Minnesota. That takedown sets up a 2nd and 17 as Washington goes empty. McKissick, a good receiving back, lines up outside. Heineke rifles it down the middle, finds the tight end base. An opening in front of Miles Bryant and company.
Another good throw down the middle. Saw a couple of these tonight, one by Mac Jones, one by Ryan Fitzpatrick. And now by Heineke. Just zone coverage. Van Noy sits. Kind of back shoulders it a little bit to take care of him, to not lead him into that free safety to where he could have that knockout shot.
And you see Miles Bryant, who came up to make the tackle from center field, asked the free safety. He's a corner by trade. Played cornerback for the Patriots last year, undrafted free agent from Washington. Heineke rolls it right. Created time and space to complete the pass. The dump off over the middle as Duggar comes up to make the tackle.
It's Josh Uche right here off the left edge. You just see that nice, that punch technique, getting that left arm underneath. Here it is again. He's on the right side of your screen. He's in that chase mode right now. And go back to a guy like Bryant too. The type of year he had last year. You don't care what a coach tells you to play. You get on the field as a corner, safety, wherever you're valuable.
And the Patriots using him at quarterback and safety. They cross-train a lot of their guys. We talked about it earlier.
Special teams.
In the secondary and on special teams. Washington with the run by Barber. Now to face a 3rd down and 3.
Paul Perillo looked like he was in the sun today. No practice today. You think, well, he has been in camp, so he's sitting outside.
Paul's been out there every day.
You have the option to sit in the tent or sit outside and get sun. So you can get sun and still do your work. I'll say that's wrong. I was outside in the sun.
It's always sunny in Paul's world. You know that.
Sunshine.com.
Got a 3rd down and 3 for Washington, trailing the Patriots 6-0 midway through the second. Heineke in relief of Fitzpatrick takes the snap. Throws it to the sideline. Grab is made wide at the 1st down marker. McKissick made the grab in front of.
It was Uche that made the tackle here at the end. He gets him out. Now, it's another example of, as we've been sort of watching him, crashing down inside, going after the quarterback. And right here, reading pass off the side. Okay, I got the back. Now watch me get out in the flat and make the tackle.
And he makes the tackle short of the 1st down line to gain. That sets up J.J. Taylor, who's been exciting at times in his brief Patriots career. Made the team last year, a free agent out of Arizona. Are we going to have a challenge here from Ron Rivera and his staff?
I thought he picked up the 1st down.
Rivera's counterpart Bill Belichick talks about preseason being an opportunity not only for players but coaches.
Challenging the ruling on the field of the spot. Timeout.
Yep.
Working on the mechanics of every facet of game operation, including the replay challenge. Well, despite the best effort of Josh Uche, as Bill Belichick takes a look at the Polaroids, Washington, upon further review, gains a 1st down on the completion in this 6-0 game to McKissick.
Yeah, they get this call right. Initially, I thought they thought his left knee was down, which it is not. Did a good job keeping that left leg upward to where he could reach the ball out at the yard marker. It's a good overcall. Good overturn.
It's a good opportunity for the Patriots linebackers because, as we said at the top, no 2 teams in the NFL threw more to the running backs last year than New England and Washington. And so that's been an area, of course, in the NFL where often you have safeties playing in place of linebackers. But Uche is going to have to do that in the flat. Let's stick with the Josh Uche theme as our Putnam Players Spotlight. Featured Patriot Paul Perillo, your thoughts? You've watched him in training camp, Paul. He's looked good.
Yeah, the speed element, the athleticism I think that he brings is something that I think they were lacking in the front 7 last year. A lot of new faces up there. He's a guy I really want to see tonight. Anthony Jennings we haven't seen much of yet. I want to see him get involved as well. But Uche's a guy, I really like him when he's going forward. I think when he's getting into the backfield, causing problems for the passer, I think that's when he's at his best.
There he is chasing Heineke, who unleashes the throw, broken up by Bryant and Duggar.
All right, take a look at the replay right here with Josh Uche. He's on your right side. Tight end releases. He reads bootleg. Now you get the hands up. And whether he forces a high throw or not, it's the pressure right here. But the ball hangs here, and it gives your safety enough time to get over to deflect it up to where Duggar could have picked that off. Nice job by Bryant getting there. But it's Uche that makes the ball sort of have more arc on it. Now you can react quicker.
Uche was coached in Michigan by Don Brown, who has local roots here in Massachusetts and is very highly respected around the game of football at the college level and the NFL. Well prepared for the Patriots, again applying some pressure. Heineke goes down on the hit by Bentley and another incompletion.
Again, more pressure here from the right side. And Heineke's had this since he's come in the game. But it's Bentley who just runs right over the back. You talk about the strength of this kid coming out of Vanderbilt. I've seen him here for a couple of years, and I just think Bentley is a guy, remember Landon Roberts when Roberts was here. Send them in that A gap or B gap, and they're like freight trains. Laterally, not so much. But again, Paul talked about Uche going to attack the quarterback. That's where these guys are at their best.
Way punts it to Taylor. And JJ is going to watch it bounce into the end zone. Another touchback here at Gillette. Football is back. Plenty of reasons to smile for the Patriots. Veterans and youngsters alike in a 6-0 New England lead. Welcome back to Gillette Stadium. 6-0 lead for the Patriots midway through the second quarter. Cheerleaders back on the sideline. Fans returning to the stands. And it is so great to see and hear one and all tonight. Something that I know, speaking for myself, I took for granted. With so many great fans here for so long. Last year, I realized how much we missed them.
Love having them back.
Devin Asiasi, the tight end in motion for Mac Jones. He worked with a lot of the regulars for the Patriots on his first series. Now he drops back off play action and checks it down to J.J. Taylor. Turn and run. He cruises his way for a first down. Good extra effort by the little back from Arizona.
Again, good action by Mac. Watch the feet. It's the hips, the feet. Quick play action fake. Show the football. And then boom, snap the shoulders around. Reset, you're looking, nothing downfield. Good job by Washington, drop it deep. Take what the defense gives you, throws a dart down to JJ. And JJ picks up an extra 4 yards.
And good work by a lot of linemen as well. The pass protection, getting their first reps of the preseason. See Matt Lacoste, the tight end, starts off the right side of the line as Jones drops back and screens it for Taylor. Recognized well, and coming up to close with the tackle for Washington, Jimmy Moreland. Flag on the field.
You got a legal guy downfield?
Ineligible player legally downfield on a pass. Offense number 64. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Job, Zoe.
Alex Redmond, the former Bengal. Well done, official Zolak.
Yeah, it was too obvious there. Now that didn't have screen action. That's what's curious there. Because he looked downfield, then he came backside to a check down. That's more of a check down. It's not a screen.
How does a lineman wind up downfield on a play like that?
He's not one of your starting linemen.
Redmond has been around with Cincinnati. Started 32 games for the Bengals. Now the Patriots, after the penalty, pressed into a first down and 15. The alert by Jones from the empty second. Throws it across the middle for Wilkerson. Outrunning one defender. Turns the corner. Gets to the 35. Phillips brings him down along the Washington sideline.
Nice job by Jones, moving in the pocket, having eyes in the back of your head. You take a look at the left side. He feels the pocket starting to condense, slides up. It's just that little innate, just that slide up in the pocket. From right to left, reset yourself, get your feet square, just dump it down.
Great to see it translate in a game. We've seen it in practices. That sense, the awareness, the pocket movement for Mac Jones. Harry in motion. Jones dropping back into the flat for Johnson. Trying to catch. He makes it. And he's hit out of bounds by Phillips.
It's a nice catch by Johnson. He saves Jones's tail here. Jones knows it too. He just slapped himself. Very demonstrative when he knows, okay, that wasn't the best ball I could have thrown. Tight ends and backs. We saw it last year. You need to put the ball out in front of them. That's a great catch by Jakob Johnson down below the knees. Saves him from an incompletion. Sets up 3rd and 2. Much more manageable 3rd down.
Yak trying to bring that to his game this year. 8 career receptions as a Patriot, part of the International Pathway Program. Sets up the 3rd and 2. Jones dropping back. Moves up. Back tucks it around. He's got the first down on the dive while in the arms of the defender for Washington, William Bradley King.
Oh,
Are they going to rule that he's short?
Why did they back it up
to the 41, but they're going to mark it back at the 40-yard line.
Let's get it on the big board. I thought he had this.
Fans thought so too as the rain comes down again here in Foxborough. Washington now deploys DeAndre Carter, who was in Patriots training camp a few seasons ago.
We're moving.
Another flag.
Shevsky.
With another false start on the Patriots.
Prior to the snap,
Punty.
false start. Offense, number 80. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Number 80 and number 7. Your 2 best players last year.
Now you have a new long snapper. Brian Corey was signed just a few days ago out of Carnegie Mellon, former DC defender in the XFL, replacing an injured Joe Cardona. Could that be a factor at all with 2 full starts on the punt team?
Sure, absolutely. But I mean, it's also, you're not going on a snap count. You're going on the snap. So that's more on Olszewski there.
You've caught snaps as a holder on field goals. Bailey launches the punt. Carter under with the return. Speeds to the near side. He's hit out of bounds by Gunnar Olszewski.
Man, he was moving. A lot of work now with Mac Jones and Josh McDaniels sitting, going through the Polaroids. Not really Polaroids anymore. It's Microsoft Surface.
Time to take a look at our Neal, official energy partner of Gillette Stadium. Powerful play of the game.
Yeah, this is Matt Judon to the backside to get the first real 3rd down of the football game. Where he stuffs it. Need to make a lot of those type plays this year.
Pat's got a break with Judon. He was injured and rolled up on a cut block. Went to the tent very briefly. Then came back into the huddle for a play thereafter. There's Josh Uche in on the tackle, along with Harvey Longy.
You know, these next 2 weeks are critical. You get 2 joints, meaning 2 joint practices. Next week against Philadelphia. Then you return home. You're going to do the same thing with the Giants here. Then both teams are going to get on a plane and go down to the Meadowlands and play the game there for the final preseason game. So you only get 2 more weeks to really, you know, if you're one of those fringe guys, meaning final 5 bubble guys, you got to make some plays.
Heineke on the read as a give. Able to get outside with the run for Washington. Jarrett Patterson, rookie free agent out of Buffalo. As Ronnie Perkins, the rookie out of Oklahoma, very good pass rusher there. He got caught overrunning the play. Washington has a 1st down, trailing 6-0 as we approach the 2-minute warning. Patriots rush 4. Heineke rears back, fires it, and snagged by Steven Sims. Downfield for another 1st down, brought to the turf by Williams.
Nice throw. Nice throw. Good anticipation. It's that deep in cut. Those aren't easy.
So the 2-minute warning is upon us here at Gillette in this preseason opener. Patriots have the lead, but Washington on the move. Here at Gillette Stadium, Robert Kraft, chairman and CEO of the Patriots, looks on, and no one appreciates the return of fans more than Robert and team president Jonathan Kraft. To his left and your right, and coming up at halftime, it is the Geico Halftime Report with Steve Bergen, including a look at Robert Kraft's meeting with Patriots rookies this past offseason about stomping out hate. We'll look at that and recap the 1st half. As Bill Belichick continues with pencil over the ear, under the visor, to peruse the Polaroids. Still does it the old-fashioned way. Washington on the move. Out of the 2-minute warning, Heineke checks it down, finds the tight end, seals Jones on the crosser. He's brought down by the gang tackling Patriots over on that far side. First opportunity to see D. Virgin, defensive back, among the tacklers for New England.
See, that's a tough thing too. So you can come up and you could cut a guy if you're a tackler outside.
First charge, timeout, New England. 30-second timeout. Please set the game clock to 1 minute, 45 seconds.
So, you know, outside the tackle box, you can come up as a defender and cut the legs out of a ball carrier. You see guys do it all the time. It's a sliding back tackle. But you can't do it as an offensive guy when you're outside that tackle box, leading to where you go down to cut.
But I believe defenders are not going to be allowed to do the same.
Pardon me?
This year. I believe they're going to eliminate that play from defensive players too.
Okay.
It's a tight end box. A couple of yards outside the tackles.
Because that's one right there where you get low.
Absolutely. Patriots using the timeout with 1:45 to go. Washington with a 2nd down and 5, trailing 6-0 here in the 2nd. Give out of the gun. Patterson running into a crowd. Will the Patriots take another timeout? So will Bill Belichick want Mac Jones in the offense to have an opportunity?
The answer is no, because he would have taken it. He would have taken it the second that tackle happened.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Only because they took it on the previous play.
Be interesting to see if Mac comes back out. I do expect him to come back out to start the third.
80 seconds to go. Helmet back on for rookie Mac Jones. Seals Jones, the well-traveled tight end, in motion, and Heineke's going in the other direction.
That's a nice ball.
A good throw on the in-cut by Brown. And a first down for Washington.
Double slant right there. Heineke's huddling them up here. Yeah, they don't have to rush it. You got a lot of time. 1 minute left here in the half. But they run that double slant to the backside. Yeah, Patriots not too vanilla here. A lot of cover one. Yep, playing some man-to-man coverage.
Right now you have a lot of youngsters in the lineup, including Gann.
And here,
defensive back. He was just signed by the Pats. A throw over the middle behind the receiver. Tough grab for DeAndre Carter to try to complete in a vulnerable spot. Be a second down and 10.
Yeah, but Henry Anderson, number 94. So this is man-to-man coverage. You see him come down underneath, little double move. But I think Heineke per-rip. Anderson dropping out from his defensive line position. So I don't want to throw it to that guy, so I'm going to try and back shoulder it here a little bit.
That's a 300-pound Henry Anderson, new to the Patriots, a 2-year deal, was a former Colt and Jet. Very good run player, and as well on that particular throw, able to get back and affect the throw perhaps. Now Heineke on second down and 10, stands in to the end zone for Seals Jones. Did he make the catch? No. Gann is there for New England.
I think Gann got away with one here on that left hand. But another good ball placement by Heineke. So you get the stack inside. Tight end goes up. You see the reach on that left hand.
You got a striped shirt under this?
No.
You should be wearing one tonight.
Tell you what, feels good to be calling football games again. That's mid-season form stuff by me, man.
A third down and 10.
Or I'll miss 2 later.
33 seconds with which to work, and a 6-0 Patriot lead here in the second quarter. Heineke back to work. In the pocket again, time. The reset, now in trouble. Tries to throw it away. Coming back to the ball, the catch is made. It's Patterson who saves the throw.
I don't think he caught that.
Coming back to it.
First charge timeout, Washington.
Got a timeout by Washington.
Please set the game clock to 22 seconds.
Good coverage. Take a look at see if this ball skips. That's a good catch.
It's a good grab by Patterson.
Patterson does a good job keeping his elbows in tight to keep the ball under it so it rests on his forearms. That's a good catch.
You mentioned it earlier. Linebackers, in the case of tonight's game, have their hands full trying to cover running backs. Patterson makes the play in front of Longy.
You got to be able to make plays. You got to be able to understand what the quarterback's seeing and thinking. So he's flush there. And so the offensive guy's going up. He sees he's flushed. And all Heineke does is he throws it up short, hoping he can connect with him and have him come back. And he did a good job.
First down and goal to go for Washington. Patterson alongside Heineke. Takes the handoff on the read. Straight ahead he runs. .16 seconds frozen on the clock.
Second charge timeout of the half,
Washington.
30-second timeout. 18 seconds on the game clock. 18.
All right, still have one left, one in your pocket, just in case you don't get in here. Now, if you take a look at it, it looks like the football breaks the front edge of that white line. That's all it has to do.
Number 77 is reported as eligible. Number 77.
So is the knee down? Yeah, we got knee down. Yeah, so that's a good call. It's a good no call.
Eric Flowers checks in for Washington. They go with a heavy set. He's eligible on the left side. Out of the eye. Heineke looking to throw. Well covered. Unleashes. Skipped it off the turf.
He's got to know, too. If you don't have it right away, that ball's got to be out. Take the hit off yourself. It's one of those bang-bang plays. These are all bigs on bigs inside. So it's a good play fake. And I thought he had him initially out in the flat.
Getting a lot of looks at Malik Gann in coverage for the Patriots. He was signed on Tuesday. He was originally signed by the Patriots back in 2019. Now a third and goal from the 1. 13 seconds to go. Again out of the eye. Again the heavy set. Handoff to Patterson. Bounces off the contact. Takes it up the middle. Touchdown Washington.
Second effort. Gets in on second effort. It's good stuff in the middle on the bigs. You just got a really good push there in that second level. The coach won't like that one. Let's start writing things down. Pencil out of the hat.
Josh Uche going down with an injury.
This could hot night too. These could be cramps.
The run up the gut. Peyton Barber getting the opportunity there with the carry for Washington.
See if Uche gets twisted up. No, this has got to be cramping here.
By rule, under 2 minutes, when there's an injury timeout and there is a score, we do not charge a team a timeout. So there will be no charge timeout for New England.
Uche makes it to the sideline on his own power.
IV time. It's one of the options. One of the things the team does, something I've noticed over the last couple of years, drink a lot of Pedialyte. So Pedialyte, because of the electrolytes and the salt level, and it's not a bad salt, it's a good salt for your body, has helped incorporate them with the training to help save their bodies.
Hopkins, who missed a field goal earlier, delivers the point after, and Washington takes the lead with 4 seconds to go here in the second quarter. We keep it here in Foxborough. Zoe, you mentioned water available for the Patriots.
Sure.
Ted Harper does a great job. The training staff. Harper's the team nutritionist in essence. And Lawrence Guy was singing his praises to us yesterday.
Please set the game clock at 8 seconds.
Some water. He does to help
8
these Patriots
seconds on
be
the
in
game
condition
clock, please.
with their hydration and nutrition. And we've had to hydrate in the booth here.
Oh, we're good. We got bottles of water everywhere.
Just a meal tonight.
I got 3 here. I can put one in my pocket over here. I like this booth. You and I are normally over here. In this booth over here, the radio booth, they got like 10 people in there. But you guys need some water? We got cold water over here. My boys, Bertrand and Hardy.
We can't mimic the motions.
Hardy will be on air tomorrow.
Sign language from the other side of the glass.
Yep, they're over there. Drink up, attaboy. Beetle and I, we got to rest up after our big day today. Hardy will be, I think he's back in tomorrow. No, he's not.
You got to hydrate before the game. You got to keep down in the fluids during the game. Corey Cunningham back with the Pats this year. He doesn't want to cramp up. He's in a competition for one of those swing tackle positions. Second layer of depth on the offensive line. Taylor on the run back. J.J. Taylor found a crease, and he carried it across the 25 with 3 seconds to go. The second quarter.
There's a role for him on the football team this year. I don't know if it's third down. I don't know if it's second down. We can flex him out. We can run screen games with him. The return game is there. Because he's got a different level of speed. And he is small, which allows you to hide those type of guys. We've seen it over the years with guys like Danny Woodhead here. And you get a big offensive line and you lean. It's hard for those defenders to see these guys.
Mac Jones is going to drop to a knee for the first time in his NFL career, as we chronicle his every move tonight in his Patriots debut.
So how we can coach.
And again, Jarrett Stidham is banged up, so Hoyer would be the number 3 quarterback tonight if they choose to put him in there. Quinn Nordine, a couple of field goals here for the Patriots. Great story for him as well. He's a kicker from Michigan who was looking up jobs on LinkedIn because nobody wanted him. The Patriots called him, signed him. Nick Folk's not kicking. And he already has 2 kicks. And there's Mac Jones, everybody. Third quarter action. He is still in there. Bob Sosey and Scott Zolak.
Prior to halftime, excuse me. And now you got massive substitutions, and he still has to move the football team.
Had a long conversation with Josh McDaniels, reviewing the last series, double clutches, and then drops it off for J.J. Taylor, who breaks a hit in the open field. Fights for a couple of more yards out to the 32. Well done by Taylor.
He's going to want this one back as we go in a hurry up here. So situation, coach wants to see guys in different situations. So this is one right here. Get your team lined up.
Wilkerson finally aligned to the near side as Jones changes the play at the line of scrimmage. Patriots going empty here on a 2nd down and short. Jones across the middle. N'Keal Harry's first grab of the night. Circles back. He's tripped up, but with a dive, he has the first down.
Yeah, N'Keal's had a good camp. This guy had a tough time first couple of years here. And now you see Jones just checking it down. Good accurate throws to these crossing routes. Staying with the hurry up here.
Last year the Patriots played throughout the season generally at a slower pace. Now they go up tempo with a series of 1st and 10. Quick hitter for Wilkerson in front of the 40-yard line.
That's a quick route by Wilkerson too. He's got to get up there and snap that thing off just to give him some room to where he can throw the ball. So they're letting him run 2 minutes here. So this is all on Jones.
A 4-yard pickup for the Patriots with 3 receivers to his left. Taylor in the backfield, and again Mac Jones setting the protections. The offense runs through the quarterback. Play fake inside, swings it left for Wilkerson, looking for a block. And he dives to the first down marker.
Real nice move by Wilkerson to set that up just to allow N'Keal Harry to just screen off that first defender out there in the corner. Good control here by Mac, running the huddle.
There was a point in practice last week where Josh McDaniels really got on Jones, it seemed, to have a louder voice at the line of scrimmage and truly take command, both with his calls and his actions. We saw him respond well from that. Now with another 1st down and 10,
Taylor
2-by-3 set. Jones with a quick release. It's Taylor right on cue.
There we go. See, if you're going to be able to get this from your running backs, we know you can flex James White out, but this guy's got a different skill set. You know, that speed, get him on the perimeter.
Taylor now lines up the single back as Jones moves under center. 16-1. The 17 starts at Alabama, including a national championship. Took over for an injured Tua Tagovailoa 2 years ago. Gives it to Taylor. Not much room there. He's stumped at the line of scrimmage.
It's a good job by Wilkerson to step up. Jones put him in motion, but he knew, I've got to get that safety that's coming down. They're trying to run that little lead inside.
Wilkerson really has been a nice story thus far in the early days of training camp. Again, getting his first reps of the preseason. He was called up late off the practice squad a year ago for a game for the Pats. Jones stands in. He throws it into traffic, and a good snag by Wilkerson between a pair of Washington defenders. McTire on the tackle. 1st down, Patriots.
It's a curl route. He's flexed to the right side. All he's doing is getting up, turning, coming back. Boom, balls right there. Great anticipation by Jones. He threw this before he came out of the break.
And he had Tim Settle, good pass rusher for Washington, in his shadow. Screens it for Taylor. JJ takes it inside. Patriots will pick up 3.
See, that's a tough one there on those offensive linemen. For so many years, you've been taught to pull, to get outside, then cut, get a guy's legs down. Can't do that anymore on the screens.
And they're going up tempo right now for the Patriots as well in the heat here in Foxborough with a 2nd down and 7. Opening series of the 3rd quarter. Matt Lacoste, tight end in motion, setting up the sweep for J.J. Taylor.
Wow.
Spins his way and stumbles, but stays on his feet long enough to lunge for the 1st down.
Oh, boy. I mean, you remember Dion Lewis when we first saw Dion here, and this guy's smaller than Dion. But to see him turn this corner, get up, lower the boom, but he's so low to the ground that he's got that already built-in low center of gravity. I like that, lower the hammer.
Patriots longtime running backs coach Ivan Fears last year called him Little Dion. And a run by Sony Michel. Washington pushing through the line.
No chance on that one.
And no gain on that carry.
So other than bringing in Michel for Taylor there, they have not substituted this drive. It's strictly been Olszewski, Harry, and Wilkerson.
Jones swings it again in the flat. Wilkerson gets a block from Harry. Christian Wilkerson runs it to the 22.
This is a lot of the stuff it feels like that he did at Alabama. So it's a good job by Josh. Get plays he's comfortable with. Those little swing routes, those screens down the line of scrimmage. He's called 2 of those already to the left side.
One of the things about Jones's development, he was coached by a pair of NFL caliber coordinators at Alabama. As he takes the snap here, pocket collapsing, he's hit. And he's decked on the incomplete throw. Pressure coming from his right from Justice Reed.
Come on, tackle, stay with it. Stay with it here. So both tackles, just duck the head. You can't just dive at a guy's legs right there. That's how you get your quarterback killed, which almost happened right here.
Cunningham's been on the Patriots the last couple of years. The right tackle
better make
contact.
contact.
Able to cut down the defender Reed with Nordin, who's 2 for 2 from 35 and 50 to attempt a 40-yarder here.
It's a good drive though.
Looking to kick the Pats back in the lead. Corey snap in place. Nordin's kick stays true. Make it 3 for 3.
All three right down the middle. No question.
Another strike from Quinn Nordin. 2-minute offense. Patriots settle for the... Patriots have regained the lead with the first series of the second half out of the 2-minute offense. The hurry-up offense orchestrated by Mac Jones. Near perfect, 8 for 9 for 43 yards to set up a field goal by Nordin.
Tempo. Everything's about tempo with this kid. That's about as close, that drive, to the Patriot offense that we know, that we have known for 20 years, that we've seen evolve over those 20 years to where you almost perfect it to where it's a fine-tuned machine. But it's all balls out on that fifth step all the time. And I said this in the pregame. I don't care if it's incomplete. Make the decision and get rid of the football. Take the hits off you, move the football team, look like you're in control. And he looked like he had great command in the huddle, at the line of scrimmage, calmly changing protection, calling out the plays, and then go 8 for 9 during it. That's great.
Well, he was developed at Alabama as an underclassman, in part by Brian Daboll, former Patriot assistant, of course. Now the coordinator for the Bills, does such a great job. Steve Sarkisian, former coordinator in Atlanta. He's been a college head coach, was his OC as well. And you have talked to Sarkisian, who sung his praises. Charlie Weiss was early on record, really pounding the table for Mac Jones in the draft run-up.
And when Billy O'Brien took over as offensive coordinator, he stayed back at Alabama to help teach Billy O their new offense. So,
new quarterback for Washington, meanwhile, is Steven Montez, the former Colorado Buffalo. Is the handoff to Jared Patterson.
Starting to show the age here. When I say showing the age, it's generational gaps. 15, 20 years ago, I knew every guy on every roster as far as quarterbacks. Oh yeah, third guy, I knew who that guy was. I knew where he played college ball. I stopped watching college ball about 15 to 10 years ago. And then you kind of lose touch with some of these 13 guys that hang on, or fourth guys that get runs. So a lot of these guys are new to me.
Ryan coming up among the pursuing Patriots with the stick on Patterson on that run.
Not like unless you got some skin on the game you're watching or hitting some of the gambling apps out there.
Well, speaking of age,
the ones that watch the WAC conference or some random Pac-12 game that's going on. Pac-10, whatever it is now.
I've seen your Twitter feed late on Saturday nights.
Well, but it's not usually about the game. It's about other things. Right.
Here's the snap. On the 3rd and 4 for Montez. In trouble. Down he goes from behind. Patriots come up with a sack, and that's Carl Davis, whose journey in the NFL landed him in Foxborough last year.
Yeah, he's a big guy. They've rotated in, especially at the end of the first half. They brought Davis in that goal line situation. But he does a good job just, playing a little TE game where they run that twist. But he has good vision, used his hands, shut the blocker, get the ball carried.
Speedster Marvin Hall waits on the punt by Tressway. Good work by the Patriots defense. And a short punt. But Hall will try to pick up on the bounce. He's in trouble. Able to recover. Marvin Hall's got a resume with return experience in the NFL.
We still got Mac coming back. This is good. All right.
Again, the work by Anderson and Davis on the sack. Here at Gillette, Patriots have the 2-point lead over Washington. Bob and Zoe in the booth. Paul Perillo's in the Bob's Discount Furniture Studios, where he's been watching Mac Jones work in the second half.
Yeah, Bob, and what we're seeing is a lot of the stuff that you and I have been watching throughout training camp. A lot of quick throws, a lot of short stuff. This is the kind of timing I think that the Patriots offense is predicated upon. Zoe, I couldn't agree with your point more about that fifth step, bang, the ball is out. Even when it's not where it's supposed to be in training camp, it just looks like it's in rhythm. A lot of these short throws tonight, one thing to keep in mind, a lot of guys breaking tackles. Hasn't been a lot of tackling going on in training camp, so something to keep an eye on moving forward. Can the Patriots receivers make these plays after the catch? Because they're going to rely on that to move the chains.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, too. And you saw the first throw, that little check down he had to JJ. Olszewski was wide open coming on a dig from right to left. That's something I think Mac would like to have back. But, you know, you want drive starters. You want to get in the rhythm, and that helped him get in that rhythm.
Jones, Patriots' first pick in this year's draft, hands it off to the Pats' fourth pick. Running back Ramondre Stevenson with his second carry out of Oklahoma. Paul?
Yeah, you know, again, I agree with Zoe, because a lot of those checkdowns, again, you're going to rely on the yards after the catch. And we're getting it tonight. One guy in particular, we're wondering where the wide receiver depth is going to come from. Right. We haven't had Nelson Aguilar. Christian Wilkerson, Bob, you touched on this earlier in the broadcast, does a lot of special teams work off to the side with Justin Bethel, Matthew Slater, those kinds of guys. So it looks like the Patriots coaches are trying to find a spot for him on the roster. Maybe he can be one of those depth pieces. He's had a lot of production tonight.
Be like a Cordero Patterson type guy. You know, and he's sort of got that look to him.
He's a tremendous athlete out of a small school. Sonny Michel on the rush.
I thought they would have thrown there.
With the Pats handing it off on a 3rd down and 4.
Go for it.
And Wilkerson.
I got to see Mac there, but handed off 3 times.
Heading off to the sideline with the rest of the Patriots offense.
You got to understand what they're trying to look at, too. So you get an offensive line group in there. They're trying to see, can we move guys in a game setting? Can we run the ball when we have to run the ball? This is like where Bill's not looking at the score. And he's saying, let's try and get first downs running it.
Bailey with the punt. Spins it to the near side and motoring on the return out to the 40-yard line. Good run back by Milne, the rookie out of BYU. Great to be back at Gillette Stadium tonight. Mac Jones in company in the preseason opener against Washington. It's a tight one in Foxborough in the preseason opener. Patriots by 2, and stiff competition as well on the defensive line. When you look at that position group for the Patriots, our tonight position battle focuses on the defensive line, brought to you by Verizon.
Yeah, and I look at Winovich too. I don't consider him a defensive lineman. I consider him an outside edge guy, but you know, him being on pup, that's going to save him some time there to get his body right and get ready, and you can almost keep him on that long-term pup.
The highlighted name there, Christian Barmore, the second pick by the Pats out of Alabama, dealing with a foot issue. It appeared the other day in practice, not playing tonight. Throwing the flat from Montez to Patterson, flipped down by Gant, finished off by Longier on the outside. And Barmore has been an explosive player to watch in the one-on-one drills during training camp. Terrific athlete.
He's got high-end ability, and you try and forecast that moving forward to ultimately what this front seven's going to be and rotating those guys. And don't tell me that Matt Patricia being back isn't going to have some influence on that defense. You know, you watch Matt and how he moves out there in the field with Bill, and it's just another guy that Bill trusts, that he can bounce things off of. But you know, he's been a linebackers coach, he's been a coordinator, been a head coach, and now he's working somewhat in the front office, doing some scouting. But he's out there, and football coaches are football coaches. That's what I believe. But don't think that he's not going to have some influence as to what they're going to attempt to do defensively.
Yeah, and real quick, guys, just to add in on the Barmore stuff, I think rare athleticism for a guy that size. And we have seen, Bob is absolutely right, the one-on-one drills, there have been times where he's been very explosive in some of those drills, but seems to be getting nicked up a little bit, so we'll have to keep an eye on that as well.
There's a nice play by Montravius Adams. Another of the newcomers, a free agent on a one-year deal from Green Bay, looking for a new lease on his career.
It's a really nice play on the backside. But again, you look at that defensive line depth, the amount of bodies they have there. Same thing at the linebacker position.
Yeah, and so that's got to get better, right? The last couple of years, they haven't been able to stop the run. They haven't been able to get teams in 3rd and long often enough. They were pretty good last year when it was 3rd and long defensively, just weren't in that situation often enough.
Well, last year they were last in the league on 3rd and 1. conversions, over 90% defensively.
Get it down.
Patterson with a nice cut to slip the hit in the open field from Longy. Talked about the defensive line, the other part of that front seven, of course, the linebacker group.
And Longy can't miss that tackle out there in open spaces. And yeah, you look at this linebacking core. Obviously, it starts with Hightower back in the middle. That's huge having that guy back. We've talked a lot about Josh Uche in this football game. Jennings, another guy we haven't seen. Alabama background. You just saw Longy, but Judon Van Noy, Bentley as a substitute is really good. And obviously, Ronnie Perkins not getting a look at him here tonight, but I mean, that's a deep core.
And it's minus the training camp casualty in Raekwon McMillan, who was tore his ACL. He was playing very well for the Pats, the former Dolphin and Raider. With the completion along the sideline to Reyes.
Yeah, Coach Belichick, you know, during his pressers, talked highly of him, the attitude, the effort. You know, just to have that type of injury this quick in camp, that's tough. It's tough on the player.
Yeah, that chips away at the depth a little bit. He was a guy that looked like he had some special teams ability as well. Bob and I got to see him dropping in coverage early on in camp. I think they will miss him. You know, obviously, you know, it's not a front line, you know, a big headline player, but chips away at your depth a little bit.
Patterson takes it out to the 32 on that rush. And when you talk about the linebacker group, the Patriots lost so much through free agency last year, and of course the opt-out with Hightower sitting out the season. Van Noy went to Miami, Roberts went to Miami, Collins left for Detroit. Well, Van Noy comes back, Hightower is back, and they've kind of picked up where they left off, it seems, when you watch them in practice with the communication and chemistry, when they were such a good force for this defense in 2019.
I'm just glad Van Noy's back because he's our Wednesday radio interview, and it's outstanding.
Roster mishandled by Hemingway.
So real quick, I want to get your impression here. You talked about Montravius Adams earlier in this drive. Now we see Henry Anderson out there. Potter, you know, here we're late in the third quarter here. Is it maybe a little bit different than it has been in the past because there are only 3 preseason games? I'm a little surprised to see a veteran like Anderson still in the game at this stage.
Yeah, and he could be looking at combinations of guys too. So that's why, like, I don't want to get too caught up in that. I think Paul, if we're at that third one and he's playing well in, you know, that second half, then I do think there could be a potential issue. But I know they like Anderson. He's a guy that you handpicked. Going back to those Patriots this week shows, you said that's a guy that could be a great Patriot.
Yeah, and a little something extra in the check that week.
Yeah, it's good.
And the rookie from Oklahoma, Perkins in the backfield, harassing Montez, who has to unload and complete.
Another good program, Oklahoma. That's a big thing. When you have new players in your program, you bring some of those guys that play good competition at the collegiate level. So it helps them to make that step to this level that much easier. Not to say it's going to be easy for them. Any of these guys on defense, your head's spinning right now.
Top 2 picks for the Pats from Alabama. Next 2 picks from Oklahoma. 50-yard trot. Hopkins with the kick. Liner is no good. He's missed 2. And the Patriots still lead by 2.
More Mac.
Jones is coming back for another series in the second half. A look ahead to the next preseason game brought to you by Ace Ticket, where New England fans go for tickets to all their favorite events. Visit aceticket.com. A week from tonight, 7:30, Patriots at the Eagles from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. They'll have joint practices early next week, and they play the game, of course, against the Eagles under first-year head coach Nick Sirianni next Thursday night. Early movement by Lacoste on the right side of the line.
Ball start, offense, number 66, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Scott Novak identifies Marcus Martin inside, and we talk about joint practices a lot in these preseason telecasts because Bill Belichick values them a lot.
How many years ago did he start? I'm trying to think back, like it's a good 5-6 years. I remember you guys used to go to West Virginia. We've been to Tennessee, we've been to Detroit, obviously Philly before. You go where you feel comfortable, where you respect the program. You know, teams like the Saints that you like, you know how to work it.
Jones finding Wilkerson coming back to the ball, couldn't hold on.
Yeah, Wilkerson's got to make this catch. Similar route earlier. Jones takes a shot up high. Hangs in there, though, to release it. He's been hit before. He knows you got to do this. But, yeah, it's a catchable ball, man. That's a good throw. He's got to make that if he wants to make this football team.
He showed at Alabama he could hang in there and make a throw like that while taking a hit. And that particular blow was from Daniel Wise, whose older brother is the Patriots' Dietrich Wise. Might have something to say to his kid brother afterwards. Jones steps up. He's in trouble. And goal.
Yeah, this is something where you got to be careful too. I know you want to take long, good looks at the kid. I'm happy he's still in the game, but you start mixing guys in there. Nobody's open downfield, and that's one thing. There's the Kill Harry in there running a deep out. I don't see the change in the feet. I know he's made some nice plays in camp as far as going up and getting the ball, the body catches. I think he's more of a red zone threat. But man, and that's going to be a big thing moving forward here with this offense. You've got to be able to separate on the outside.
Jones
waiting
on a 3rd and 24. Oh, deep for Gunnar Olszewski.
Oh, it's a ball there.
Trying to lay out and make a spectacular play.
Let's take a look at it from the end zone here, and this is what Jones is looking at. Right now, he knows it's zone coverage. So underneath, I got my check down. I'm going to wait and let Gunnar run through it, and it's just 1 yard too far. Wants that one back.
And there's a sign, though, as well. Jones sliding to the left.
Yeah, he wants big plays.
Before delivering for Gunnar Olszewski.
But you see what they're trying to do eventually here, and the potential that this offense could have with that timing offense back. This is what Josh wants.
Bailey angles it to the sideline and out of bounds on the punt.
Good to see fans back in the building here.
Just short of a minute to go in this third quarter. We talked about it so long ago in the open.
They had a dance-off.
It's so great to have.
They had a dance-off during our last TV timeout. Yeah, like it's one of those NBA things. Like the Celtics do that, and then people are dancing up in that third deck. That's pretty good. I got pretty good moves here. Now, I think it's a different type of crowd for a preseason game. I don't know how many dancers you want to see week one up there in that third level.
Good job. Of course, the ultimate objective in this league is to be dancing, in a manner of speaking, in February. Long way to go to get there, long way to September. But a good step tonight. And again, it's great to have fans back for the first time in nearly 600 days. A little roll by Montez sets up the completion to Ricky Seals-Jones. We talked about joint practices a little. We touched on it. So one of the things about joint practices that Bill Belichick really appreciates, he and his staff, you can control the situation.
Correct. Yeah, and I think you have relationships with teams that have people you've worked with before that you trust. Now, you'd be like the Cowboys at times, or the Rams, who get some of these joints, and next thing you know, you have a melee 2 days into it. It's the last thing you want. Now, you want to get out there, you want to get your ones versus ones, twos versus twos, get really good looks, get your high reps, your blitz reps. So where you don't have to get down to a game situation where you're going to take that cheap shot. So you get the bulk of your load of work done during the week, and you sort of give those guys a little bit of a break during the game.
Rashad Berry into the act for the Patriots tonight. Second-year player out of Ohio State.
This is the end of the third quarter.
During his college career, trying to make his mark tonight in the preseason opener.
Patriots preseason football is brought to you by Gillette, the official shave of the New England Patriots. And by Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
Here at Gillette Stadium, first steps of a long journey in the preseason into the regular season. And again, the Patriots celebrating the return of football, cheerleaders, and the Minutemen, the end zone militia.
You think they
down
dress
on
like
the field? Last year during the season, they were upstairs.
You think they dress like that all the time?
The end zone militia.
You think like, hey,
in character, 24/7.
You think they're here for like to shoot guns when they score that? They could just be getting off the shoot some ducks out there or geese.
I ran into a handful of them earlier this summer. They were in uniform. Wasn't at a football game.
Do you think they
might have had a soccer game?
The stadium has now gone cashless, and you need digital tickets to enter. I hope they have digital phones. You know?
We'll get on that. Come on. We can. Perkins in pursuit. Montez. Bryant seals Jones coming back to it.
Good hit.
It's hammered by Bryant. But it will be ruled incomplete.
He's saying he caught it. Take another look at this one.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass, second down.
Yep. You know,
but you don't have, the new rule is you don't have to take it through the catch, through the ground. I think it's catch. What'd you call that in the end zone? Catch, right? Come on. Down 4. You better get ready. Down 4.
You're the official in this booth.
Down 4, fourth quarter. We make a play like that. I'm calling for a touchdown there.
Prior to the play clock expiring, timeout, Washington.
They want another look at it.
First charge of the second half.
Ron Rivera has already won a challenge this evening on a spot.
Yeah, he's calling him over too.
There was definitely a toe drag there. The ball didn't come out until went to the ground and across the sideline.
Yeah, Scott Novak's crew. So Ron Rivera went over, called him over. I think they're trying to get another look at it upstairs.
Key dates on the NFL calendar, including in the very near future by Tuesday, cut down to 85 players, then down to 80, and eventually to 53. The schedule's a lot different this year. Preseason reduced to 3, regular season expanded to 17.
I mean, we played 4:30, right?
Ooh, nearly picked off on the throw to the flat. Anticipating Michael Jackson. When you look at the calendar, of course, Bill Belichick has his own calendar in mind when he makes his decisions and final evaluations on guys, though. And you know, he looks at circumstances, and you touched on it tonight with the use of personnel and the situations, trying to manage this game. Now, so differently than so many of us when we peruse the box score or watch the game unfold. Montez again, under pressure. It's a good ball, and it's picked off. Down the sideline, a cut by Williams. Jawan weaving his way across the 20.
That's good for him, too. Make some plays, get him going.
Third-year defender out of Vanderbilt. Second-round pick for the Patriots back in 2019.
Now, a lot of that, too, is right place at right time. You know, off the block, but become a runner after you pick it off. First of all, you need good pressure to get this going. So it's an unsure throw by the quarterback. Zone coverage, ball's high, gets tipped. We've seen guys drop that ball. He catches it, then becomes a runner. He's a big kid.
That's where the pass rush is married to the coverage.
Sure.
You got Murray pushing the pocket straight ahead. Perkins coming in from Montez's right. Ball's tipped en route. Williams with the easy pickings.
He reminds me of Bucky Jones. So that big, lengthy corner as we have Brian Hoyer in the game.
A new quarterback and an old one as well as Brian Hoyer hands it off. Good work by Stevenson. Andre Stevenson powers his way to the 10 after some nifty footwork in the hole.
Trying to get a good look at him in this uniform. Because, you know, when you looked at him in college, he looked a little more stout, like a bowling ball. He doesn't look like that when you see him in person. So a lot of that could have been the uniform, the all-white at Oklahoma. I mean,
said he studied LeGarrette Blount. He was coached by DeMarco Murray at Oklahoma, who showed him a lot of Blount videos.
We're moving.
They had another penalty with the early movement.
Yeah.
Ball start. Offense, number 66. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
You got to clean that up.
Marcus Martin with his second infraction tonight.
Complimentary football. You pick the ball off. Now, what's the situation? You're downside the red area. You got to be able to punch this thing in.
Veteran at work on his 4th team. Picked up late last year by the Pats. Brian Hoyer's been at the side of Mac Jones a lot, just like Cam Newton in practices in the facility. Another give to Stevenson, stays on his feet, and he carries to the 10.
Yeah, Hoyer's one of those perfect teammates for a guy like Mac. You know, you've been in the league, you know, a lot. You bounced around, started a couple places, you backed up, you know, in a lot of places. You've observed a lot of things. You've seen other quarterbacks play the position, and you know how vital his role is. Super Bowl victory over the Rams. There's endless things that he can help you with and help calm a young quarterback down, and eventually, you know, it becomes his.
Stevenson,
Another good run.
plowing his way, barreling over a defender en route to the first down for the Pats.
Remember, Ivan always coaching up. If there's no hole, make one. Don't be looking at me. You know what? You're looking at me that nobody's blocking. Make a hole.
And there's a look at the other two quarterbacks. Cam Newton has had a good rapport with Jones. Same thing with Hoyer. He gives it to Stevenson. Got it outside. Zigzagged his way back inside. A run to the one.
Keep feeding him. This is his drive. You get a guy who runs that hard. He's smelling it now.
We're seeing good work from the Patriots rookie class. Jones with an impressive 2-minute drive, especially at least a hurry-up drive in the early minutes of the third quarter. Perkins has applied some pressure. Now it's Stevenson with an opportunity to drive it into the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots!
Nice run, youngin. My God, the backs that they have. So you think about Damian Harris, Sony Michel. You got the young rookie now. Saw J.J. Taylor in his burst, running people over. We know what James White can do. Now, that's going to be a fullback team, too. You're going to have fullbacks to make this football team.
Damian Harris, Sony Michel, J.J. Taylor in a tight-knit group in that running back room. Here on the field, the first to congratulate and celebrate with Ramondre Stevenson. Noureddin, 3 field goals, looking for his first extra point. And he doesn't get it. Oh, he was perfect on 3 field goals.
Perfect. It's right down the middle.
On the point after try. Stevenson for the house for the Pats. Here in Foxborough, time for Best Buy of the Game, brought to you by CarMax, the way game day should be. Three field goals for Quinn Noureddin, but a misstep on the extra point attempt. Aaron to the right. Part of the growing pains in the NFL. And it's so strange. We've seen so many kickers, younger veterans alike, young ones, hit field goals with regularity, he tried to say, but miss the point afters since they moved to
no longer gimmies.
The extra point back to the 15, amounting in a 33-yard try.
It is a good rule. I mean, it makes the play competitive. I mean, how many kicks do you really miss down and tight like that? You don't miss many at all. Rare you block one. You know, the longer snap, not the longer snap, but the longer approach by the kicker being out further gives the defense a little bit of a better edge than for their attempt to block it. But it's a competitive play now. And it it gets in the head of these guys. Because you start thinking about it. Look how relaxed he was on the long kicks, the field goals.
Remember, for him to make the Patriots as the lone undrafted free agent, he would have to unseat Nick Folk. He's been very good for the Pats the last 2 years.
Yeah, Nick's been great.
Speaking of Folk, as Montravius Adams lost the helmet on the hit. Nick last year missed his first 2 field goals.
Right.
Then he made his next 26 tries.
Then it was money after that.
Including 2 game winners from 50+.
Got to continue to make plays, especially with these young guys, 3rd and 4th guys. Yeah, we're in the 4th quarter here, game number 1. You only got 2 more after this. And you got to make decisions on your football team.
Montez on the read. And despite the hit by Longy, first down run for Williams. A lot of reps for Harvey Longy. He was originally signed by the Pats, coming out of BYU as an undrafted player. He and his wife survived an awful car accident. Both very fortunate to walk away, or at least to come away from that, and eventually Harvey worked his way back onto the field. Wound up with the Jets. Last year played well against the Patriots. Yeah, came back to the organization. Pressure from Bauer. Williams makes the catch. Spun away from Longy. And then he's finished off with the pursuit by the Pats.
Take a look at the pressure here at the bottom of your screen. You know, not much. Just leverage game right there. Just running over the running back. Yeah, Bauer's got some strength to him.
You got to be strong to play defense at LSU. High snap. Montez again on the read. Williams in trouble. Met in the backfield. And brought down by Nick Thurman. So the Patriots defense. Stuff right there. Paul Perillo. What have you made of the Pats D here in the second half?
Yeah, you know, I'm really looking at the secondary. I want to see where the depth is going to come from, and we all know the big question here. I think it's a solid group as long as number 24 is a part of that. Stephon Gilmore, we haven't really seen him yet. He's still on PUP. So, to me, I'm looking at a guy like Jalen Mills. Early in the game, I thought there were a couple of catches when Terry McLaurin was still in there.
Yep.
I thought there were guys getting open. The rookie Giammi Brown, I thought, got behind him. So that's an area I'm watching. I need to see some depth in the secondary.
Yeah, half a step. I'm with Paul now. I thought he was a half a step late on some things. And just being a little tentative. You want to be a little more aggressive, especially with the edge tackling, run support. Thought he could get in there once, but I mean, hey, this is new to him too. And he's sort of thrust into a role where I don't know if it's the perfect role for him. Well, that's another reason why I think a step back, it sort of realigns things in your secondary for you.
No doubt about it. Devin McCourty said a couple of weeks ago in training camp that the defense really functions at its best in essence when Stephon Gilmore's out there. It brings a different dimension to the defense. Taylor up and under, catching on the run and forced to dive. Misjudged it a bit coming out of the block, so we got a flag on the punt.
So where the game can get sloppy, fourth quarter, middle of the fourth quarter.
8:55 on the clock. And again, Novak, our referee, with the call.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 19. 10-yard penalty. First down.
I would say that's
Time
a good
out.
call. It's a very good call. What'd I do?
Brian Hoyer back in there for his second series.
First up, how about Josh Luce? We mentioned him early. He's been all over the field tonight, pressuring the quarterback. Just got to players, making plays throughout the night. Josh Luce, our Pepsi close-up player of the night. Guys, let's go back upstairs to you.
All right, Steve, thanks so much. We'll check back with you a little bit later on as the Patriots go back to work offensively. Second series for the veteran Brian Hoyer. Off the play fake. Back foot hits, and he releases to Isaiah Zuber, unable to hold on. Brian in his 7th season overall for the Pats. This part of his 3rd tour. He was with the Patriots, of course, out of Michigan State as an undrafted player. Came back, helped the Pats to a world championship, Super Bowl 53, with preparation for the Rams. Went to Indianapolis, came back to the Patriots, started the game last year versus Kansas City, and in all that time he's worn 3 different numbers for the Pats. Now number 5. Goes to work here with Stevenson. Out of the backfield. Hoyer finds Zuber, goes back to him again on the comeback, right at the step.
He's done that a lot in his career. So it's become second nature to you. Just, again, 5th step hits, boom. Make a decision, get rid of the football. That's good anticipation. Sticks it right on the numbers. Talking to Brian, said he actually got stronger here the last 2 years. So he's sort of revamped some things health-wise. Just try and extend your career as long as you can.
Nowhere to go for Stevenson, swallowed up. Another flag on the play.
Offside. Defense number 79 lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So Washington penalized. And so, we talk about the energy a lot of Cam Newton with good reason. It's evident on the field. You hear about it from players, what it's like for them in the locker room. Hoyer also brings a different kind of energy to this team. And I think the last couple of years, especially watching Brian in practices, he seems like he's really enjoying himself.
Yeah, he's having fun. And you got to have fun playing football.
And he's going deep here for Zuber. Slowed up a bit with a contact downfield on an incomplete throw.
I see Zuber make a better effort to go get this ball here. When you're trying to make the football team on the outside, you're a speed guy. You're getting covered here, but now you got to fight through it. Try and get a call there. Slow the body down. Bait that contact. Try and get a guy to make contact with you. Maybe you'll get a call. Just make an effort to get the ball. You don't make an effort to get the ball, they're not going to throw a flag.
Guys in that position are trying to climb the depth chart, not only to get on the roster, but to move up into consideration for the roster. And Isaiah was with the Patriots a little bit last year. Player out of the gun, hands it off to Stevenson, who rams it through the left side, carries it across the 30. You hear a lot of coaches talking about guys like that. You got to win every rep. You got to go out and win the rep.
You might only get 4 in this game. You never know.
Zuber's coming back on, not to be confused with Malik Gann, who we've seen a lot on defense and special teams.
I'll tell you what's going to be problematic is when you get into games and you got Bentley, who wears 8, and you got Judon, who wears 9. And if Judon's an outside guy, Bentley's an inside guy, you're playing a quarterback that has some confusion as to, is he 8 or 9? Do I declare him the mic? Is he a down guy? And I just say that from a protection standpoint. It's going to be interesting to see it in the league this year. Multiple quarterbacks have talked about it. The older veteran guys, they don't like it because they know, they convey that I know what I'm looking at. I just don't know if I'm getting a running back that's off a street a week ago is going to know this guy wears number 8, but he used to wear 94 a year ago, and he's technically a down guy. And that's where you get some arguments over what's sub, what isn't. Is it nickel? Is it dime?
Well, then it goes back to preparation and who covers all the details the best.
Those will be the winners.
Guy who coaches here does a pretty good job of that. Another
he sure does.
On a punt. This is the 3rd time the Patriots have been penalized.
False start. Offense, number 48. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
I think it's somebody in New York telling him we got to extend this game. Game's moving too fast. I'm kidding. No overtime this year.
As much as you might not like,
everybody loves it.
Uniform change rule.
It's a give and take, baby.
I have my sheet right here that I keep with the new rules, and it says no overtime and an exclamation mark next to it with a smiley face. Punt, driving Sims back, bottled up, try to escape. And good work by Zuber downfield, a gunner for the Pats. Initially,
you're going to see a flag every play now. This is the way it gets.
And meanwhile,
during the kick, legal block in the back, receiving team number 45. Half the distance to the goal. First down. Timeout.
Harvey Longy back in a Patriots uniform. Sony Michel readying for season number 4. Isaiah Zuber trying to make his mark with Brian Hoyer back to Houston. Patriots have a new energy partner. Happy to have an L with us, the official energy partner of Gillette Stadium and the sponsor of the powerful play.
Again, good rush, deflected ball. Practice that every day in practice. Tip drill, catch and score. Find somebody to block. Good ball skills by Joanne Williams. He's got to start making plays like that, get this guy going. He's got the size.
And now the official energy partner of Gillette Stadium, and Joanne Williams in his 3rd year out of Vanderbilt. Remember, a 2nd-round pick. The Patriots traded up to get him in the 45th spot. Montez in trouble from the end zone, throws it to the near side. Williams is there to break up the pass. Down in the Bob's Discount Furniture Studio, Paul Perillo, what have you watched from the Patriots defense the evening overall?
Yeah, you know, early on in the game, I was really concentrating on that front seven, all the stuff that we talked about, some of the new faces. I wanted to see better run defense, and I think for the most part we saw that. You know, the second half, a lot of the backups are in there, a lot of secondary players, so it's been a little bit more spotty, but I wanted to see the run defense improve. I think we got a chance to see that with some of those frontline guys.
Good job, Paul.
Paul, thanks so much. We'll talk to you again next week from Philadelphia.
All right, sounds good, boys.
Montez slings it over the middle. The pass is caught by...
Another good thing. You haven't heard ballroom blitz here tonight. That's a good thing. This has been great. It's great to have the stadium feel. I mean, we did it last year with music in the stadium, but there was a low ambient sound of what you tried to simulate crowd noise being.
On the read to give and the cutback. Play by Bill Murray in the backfield. Tripping up the ball carrier, stopped with
a lot of guys
played
tonight that we thought weren't going to play. Like Chase Young. He wasn't going to play in this game tonight.
Washington didn't start, nor did Washington play Montez Sweat. In fact, he didn't even make the trip. He was one of the 4 players on that defensive line so impressive last year. All first-round picks, including Young, the rookie of the year defensively in the NFL. And Young, of course, had a big hit tonight on Cam Newton from the blind side. Oh, that's an errant pass intended for Milne.
Start to get a little shell shock back there. You start getting hit a little bit. You start looking for guys coming in the rush.
The residual effect of the pressure. And again, last year, the Patriots defensively, we talked about it, trying to improve on what a year ago was an uncharacteristic run defense for them. They also didn't get as many sacks as we're accustomed to a year ago. 24 sacks versus 47 the year before. I think it's going to change. When you look at this defense, it should change substantially.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if it doesn't change.
Inside. The game up front.
He's guessing down.
Looks to escape. Murray to the near side, galloping for the first down. And finds the sideline in front of Michael Jackson.
It's a two-man route right there. 2 men down the field, in the middle of the field, both together. So I don't blame him for running here. It's a confusion within the route. You know, he wants to go left the whole way here. He's looking left. He's actually fading left. He faded into the rush. He does a good job picking up the first down with his legs here.
Cash Mulawea was in pursuit. Mulawea last year was drafted by the Pats out of Wyoming, and then they let him go. They had to bring him back after the injury to Raekwon McMillan. Montez fires down the seam.
That's a good
wide
throw.
open receiver. The tight end Reyes makes the catch on a good throw. Miles Bryant shaken up a bit after the hit.
Yeah, Miles Bryant. I don't know if his head got involved here or this is a shoulder issue. Yes, looks like a shoulder to me. Sort of got caught in midair and hit with the top of the right shoulder with the arm extended. It wasn't where he got up and where he was dizzy. It's just he takes a pretty good shot to that back of the right shoulder. And he's not a big guy, but he can hit you pretty good when he squares up.
5'9", around 185, 190 pounds.
It's a good timing throw right down the seam.
Miles Bryant again cross-training for the Patriots as a safety, which we've seen him play predominantly, if not exclusively, tonight. Joined the Pats during last season, brought up from the practice squad. He had an interception against LA, the Rams. And again, when you talk about the secondary, there's a lot to like, but also, you know, you're looking for more depth.
They've gotten away with not being a shoulder injury here. He might have just gotten the wind knocked out of him. I think he just needed time to clear his head right there, get the wind back in his body, because he wasn't favoring that right shoulder when he got up. Yeah, he got hit pretty good in front.
And when I say depth in the secondary for the Patriots, Jason McCourty played a valuable role for this team the last few years, no longer with the Pats, of course. And you got a guy like Bryant who got a lot of experience last year, second half of the season in that mix. Swing to the right side. A well-traveled veteran, Lamar Miller, we first saw as a Dolphin. Try to hang in the league with Washington, makes the grab out of the backfield.
Stops the clock. 4:16. I mean, we've been stuck in the fours here for a while now.
Aren't you paid by the hour?
No. It's just per game.
Clock watching for it.
I mean, it doesn't matter if the game's over 15 minutes or 5 hours. You get paid the same.
Again, a dump off in the flat for Miller. And he's brought down by Jackson Maluia.
Like I said, all these guys out there right now, you got to make the most of these reps. I say make the most of it. It's not just do your job, make impact play. Try and make a play. You got to do something to jump out to get it to the point where, okay, we go to joints next week, I earn myself some more reps because I did something good in the football game on Thursday night. It's something that just pops in a film session. It doesn't have to be with us here on TV.
A 3rd down and 4.
Oh, that's a good throw.
And a good throw for a 1st down for Washington. Montez has been pressured a lot during his series this evening on this particular set, which started deep in his own end. He's made a couple of very accurate throws in traffic. Another of the double numbers divergent with number 38. We've seen Ramondre Stevenson wear it well with a touchdown run tonight, the only touchdown by the Patriots.
That is interesting, though. Fitzy's going to be the guy there. So they've had some bad luck, at the quarterback position with Alex Smith and his horrific injury. It's good seeing Joe Theismann. I talked to him for a while, and I've known Joe for a long time, and he's like, it's amazing the comeback, even to get out there. If he said I'm done, and I think ESPN just actually hired Alex Smith, so he's going to be an analyst, and he'll be good at it. But to watch a documentary what that guy went through, and then the issues that you have with Dwayne Haskins out of Ohio State, with him not being there, and he's a former 1st-round pick.
Well, the Haskins draft choice for Washington is one, as you said, that they've got to overcome.
Yeah.
And it's a real setback. Take a quarterback in the 1st round, and it doesn't work out. And in his case, a lot of it was unrelated to the physical parts playing quarterback. Maturity issues initially. And
sometimes you grow up in a fresh start elsewhere. It may help you.
Last year, he went 1-5 for Washington. Alex Smith came back to go 5-1. Kyle Allen played for Washington. Allen is hurt right now with an ankle injury.
This is the 2-minute warning.
So a timeout in the 2-minute warning in the 4th quarter with the Patriots in a 15-7 lead. And in this preseason opener, drive of the game brought to you by your Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive headquarters. Interception by Joejuan Williams. Eventually sets up the rookie Ramondre Stevenson. Showed us his full repertoire, nifty footwork, and then some power as well, barreling his way into the end zone for the lone touchdown this evening for New England. Stevenson wears 38 on offense, and D. Virgin wears it on defense. Double numbers employed in the preseason. Quick throw to the right flat, caught on the run. Jackson tried to make the tackle. Diving to Jonathan Williams.
And we haven't really seen either team really try to force the ball downfield as far as drive the ball. One by Mac Jones down the left sideline, one by Brian Hoyer, and really not much from Washington. I mean, it's early in the preseason. Teams had 10, 11 practices, so.
And you know,
don't think Kansas City's not going to push it downfield.
Ryan Fitzpatrick likes to push it downfield.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Second down, another swing in the flat. Maluia couldn't make the tackle. Going airborne. Williams sets up Washington with a 1st and goal to go.
That's a good accurate throw right there. That's what I'm talking about. Put the ball in front of the backs. Give them a catchable ball, something that they can catch and run with. Especially when you're trying to score here. Minute 32 left in the game.
First charge timeout
As
of the
Patriots
second half.
take a timeout, we'll take the opportunity to remind you to stay
Please set the
tuned
game
after
clock
tonight's
to 1
game
minute,
for the
34 seconds.
Toyota.com post-game show. Post-game report. Recap this evening's matchup of the Pats and Washington. The Patriots trying to hold on defensively here at an 8-point difference. They're working hard in the heat here at Gillette.
Brutal day today. 103 heat index. Whew. That'll mess with your head getting ready for a game. You almost drink too much during the day.
Bloated. Again, thus far, during training camp for the Patriots, for the most part, it's been relatively cool.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of rainy days mixed in as well. Montez on first and goal to go. Flush from the pocket. Runs it to the outside. Throws it to the end zone. Should have been caught. It was bobbled and then gathered in. It's a touchdown. It was caught.
Was he out of bounds on the recatch, though? I thought he was inbounds when he initially caught it. Ricochets, I think, off the defender and right back into his chest cavity.
Lamar Miller.
Let's see. Catch. Yep.
Pushed out by Maluia.
He may have been out on the recatch, on the recatch of it. See? He's got toes in.
Feet planted.
Toes looked in.
Able to make the grab.
Toes are in.
He's got 8 career touchdowns in regular season play. He'll take it here in the preseason for Washington. So again, we will note there is no overtime in the preseason with 1:26 to go. And Washington looking to tie a 2-point try in this 15-13 game. Montez takes it. He's looking left. He's throwing the fade.
Awesome. That's a good throw.
A beauty of a throw to Antonio Gandy-Golden.
Get up.
That's a killer for Joejuan Williams, who made a fantastic play on the interception. Now he's at the right place at the right time. But this is one, based on size here, you're the outside defender, you get the jam, and then that receiver is able to create that type of separation from you. That's one heck of a throw. Perfect throw. Timing was great. You got to be able to get that ball out.
Williams might have punched it out after the catch was secured to tie the game at 15. And this young man was under a lot of pressure early. In his second year with Washington, he was inactive throughout last season for Ron Rivera's team.
He hung in there and got better the more playing time he got. I thought he didn't have a chance on the first couple drives. I'm like, oh, he's starting to see things that aren't there.
A nice moment for Gandy-Golden. You don't want to settle for a tie, do you? The Patriots with 1:26 to go.
The previous play of the try, the catch in the end zone for 2, is under review.
And again, Williams punched the ball out.
You know what? Okay.
In the end.
Knees are down.
But the knees are down. He's got the ball secured, then the ball is punched out.
How do you review that, not the touchdown? I think that's more definitive, definite end zone catch than the touchdown was.
See, here he has it.
Feet in.
Feet
He's
down,
down.
and then
Oh,
he's
he's in.
down.
He's in. He's in. You don't have to catch it to the. You have to play the ball through the ground. You don't have to survive the ground anymore. Boy, we had some tough calls on that over the years, huh?
Well, think about
was that Jesse James in the Pittsburgh game at the goal line?
How about the Meadowlands regular season?
Oh my, that's right.
I believe it was Odell
Jenkins,
Beckham
right?
and Malcolm Butler.
He definitely has possession.
Has possession here.
No doubt.
Feet were down, then the knees go down. And then Williams does punch it out.
We could slow the ball down. We could slow the tape down to where we could find the ball moving on a player's body throughout the course, really, of any play. I mean, that's one where we got to, are you a football person? You see that? That's a bang-bang touchdown catch.
After reviewing the play, when the receiver went to the ground, the ball came out, lost possession, incomplete. Try is no good.
I'm confused. Now you have to survive the ground. I thought we did away with that rule. That's why you don't quit on a play, though. There's your lesson there.
It's a good effort by Williams, being initially.
He created separation.
With it.
Came back, knocked the ball out. You have to survive the ground then. Now you're going to worry about this all year. I thought we had the bang-bang thing down. Like, we're in the end zone, you make the catch. It's bang-bang, touchdowns and touchdown. Wow.
So the Patriots still have the lead. Taylor has it from the goal line. Block in the back. And that kickoff return is
always
back. Royful Magali fighting for a spot as a tight end, trying to climb the depth chart. Guilty party, it seems.
I want to go back to that 2-point catch again.
Yeah.
So when he catches it, the knees are on the ground, then the knees hit the white. That's immediately catching out of bounds.
During the return, legal block in the back, receiving team, half the distance to the goal. First down.
So the definition of a catch.
Foul was on
has
number
been
88
rewritten.
of the receiving team.
How many years now? How many years now we've done it? 9?
So often.
Year 9? Calvin Johnson's touchdown. Remember that one? That led him to retire. Des Bryant, Tony Romo in Green Bay. I have no clue what a catch is anymore in the National Football League. I really don't.
Brian Hoyer
And
dropped
here we are. Preseason game number 1, and they're doing this to us already.
Second charge timeout, Washington. 30-second timeout. 1 minute, 21 seconds on the game clock.
So Ron Rivera not giving up on this one yet. Calling the timeout. With the Patriots in their victory formation. Again, the Toyota post-game report is coming up. Our reaction to what we saw this evening in the first of 3 preseason games. Bill Belichick's 22nd year as the Patriots head coach. Got his team on the field in the spring. Looking for a big year for the second-year players, third-year players too. Didn't have a lot of time last year before the regular season kicked off. This year, different run-up to the September 12th
and
opener.
final timeout, now Washington. 30-second timeout, game clock, 1 minute, 17 seconds.
Ron Rivera, he doesn't want to take any timeouts back in his pocket.
You know, Zoe, you made the comment earlier that preseason games bring out, in a lot of cases, you know, a different fan group here at Gillette Stadium.
Sure.
A lot of people who are regular season ticket holders give their tickets, in particular to young people, the kids.
Yeah.
Kids come out for a night game in the preseason. You don't see it as much during the regular season. That's one of the great things about these games as well. Stevenson with a great run to the outside. Still on the go. Go, boy. Come on, Andre Stevenson. Trying to go wire to wire. Second touchdown for the rookie.
There's your perfect example. Go make a play. Get noticed. Had a great drive earlier. They fed him. Eventually finds the end zone. And then for a big burling back, whose forte is to find contact, run through it, run over it, and then go score. This guy's got some wheels.
Well, the Patriots kneel down. Ron Rivera and the Washington football team called a pair of timeouts, and then Ramondre Stevenson took it 91 yards with his second touchdown run of the evening.
As the great Billy Sims would say, Boomer Sooner. That's a nice run. That's a really nice run.
Nordine with another point after try. He delivers. Patriots expanding the lead in the final 104 of this preseason opener. Ramondre Stevenson taking the toss from Brian Hoyer.
All right, we're going to see if if his right foot stays in. So he gets to the sideline. Boom, feet are in. That's a good one right there. Good shot by our guys. And then just tiptoe it. But right here, he continues to pull away. I thought 2 guys had angles on him, and he just kicks it in an extra burst. And you just wonder, going back to Damian Harris setting the tone in practice for these guys. If you're not running the ball and scoring every play on offense in camp, I don't know if he gets in on that.
Well, on Dizzo's point,
It's a conditioning thing.
You haven't been able to watch training camp. Damian Harris, if he stopped after a 5-yard gain or a 15-yard gain, he'll continue to run the entire length of the field. And we saw Michelle do that as well. And Stevenson taking the lead of those veterans. As part of a group that is extremely deep. You talk about Harris, Michelle.
We're going to
James White.
We're going to run the ball this year.
Is a huge factor for this offense. You got a guy like Taylor who's dynamic and exciting, and Ramondre Stevenson.
Do you think
the one play as part of that 3-play 92-yard drive that accounted for all but one of those yards?
I think Ron Rivera regrets calling a timeout? I mean, you're losing anyway. Take a shot, right?
Ramondre Stevenson, indeed born to run. And on the run back for Washington, Steven Sims. Met by Marvin Hall and company. Part of the rookie class right there. Mac Jones, Ramondre Stevenson.
Judon asking him, man, I didn't know you were that fast.
And again, as you said, he's pulling away after
he pulled away more at the end.
He stepped out of the tackle.
Yeah.
Keeping his footing, his balance along the sideline. And then accelerating down the stretch. Miller on the run. Longy and Maluia with the tackle.
How do you think you did first game?
How did I do?
Yeah.
Well, you know, like Bill Belichick said, you know,
it's good to be calling games.
Go back and listen.
Feels good.
Watch the tape.
Feels good. I like it.
Like, it's great. It's great to be back. It's great to be calling football. It's great to see fans in the stands. You know, it's great to see young guys taking advantage of their opportunities. You know, Major League Baseball, of course, is holding a game at the Field of Dreams out in Dyersville, Iowa. These guys are chasing dreams, and it's nice to see, you know, players put themselves in good position to achieve it.
That's a good start right there. Good start for the preseason for this team.
Patriots win it over Washington. Field goals by Nordine. Touchdown runs by Stevenson. And we're going to be talking about him and the Pats, of course, in our Toyota post-game report coming up. A reaction to this preseason opener.